Broadcasting live from the Albay Pio News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is 12 o'clock Newsbreak. In the local scene, the Department of Health, DOHD, has placed all government hospitals in the region under Code White Alert or on-call mode for the Christmas and New Year celebrations. Under such status, medical personnel are instructed to be ready for immediate mobilization in case of emergency. Likewise, DOH added in a message to the media on Thursday that operations centers will be on 24-hour operations and will do active monitoring of health emergencies in the region and coordinate with other key agencies responding to this kind of situation. In another story, at least 700 undergraduate students in Albay province will receive a one-time financial grant of 25,000 pesos each through the Student Monetary Assistance for Recovery and Transition, the SMART Grant Program, early next year. The SMART Grant is a project of the Commission on Higher Education (CHED) and is being implemented in the province with the help of the Ako Bicol AKB Party List Representative and House Committee on Appropriations Chair, Representative Elisa Lico. AKB Representative Raul Angelo Bungalon said the grant, worth a total of 17.5 million pesos, will assist the students with their educational expenses and cost of living allowance. In another news, the Department of Social Welfare and Development DSWD reported on Thursday that a high number of Bicolano families and individuals facing adversities were served under the Assistance to Individuals in Crisis Situation (IX) program. Justin Joy Dichoso Escuro, DSWD Bicol IX program focal person, said as of December 7, their office gave a total of 1.8 billion pesos worth of assistance to 278,511 individuals. Escuro said that apart from psychological interventions, the forms of assistance being provided by the DSWD under the IX program are medical, educational, and monetary, which were also the most availed form of aid. In the national scene, the head of the Food and Nutrition Research Institute, FNRI, and Thursday cited innovations played a key role of the agency to address food insecurity. An example was cited on how the FNRI innovated the ingredients for the Nutriban, making these as alternatives for the normal coasting flour. Nutriban uses carrots, squash, and sweet potato as ingredients. FNRI Director Imelda Agdipa said that Food and Nutrition Research Institute had used technology to make iron-fortified rice using broken rice. In another story, a party list lawmaker on Thursday urged the Department of Justice (DOJ) to prioritize the elderly, sick, and persons with disabilities (PWDs) in recommending the grant of executive clemency to persons deprived of liberty (PDLs). Bicol Saro Party List Representative Brian Raimundo Yamsuan made the call as he lauded the jail decongestion efforts of the DOJ. Yamsuan pointed out that the Bureau of Corrections (BUCOR) has facilitated the release of more than 11,000 PDLs since the start of Marcos administration as part of the government's jail decongestion program. In another news, the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board (LTFRB) on Thursday reminded bus companies and other operators of public utility vehicles (PUVs) to ensure the safety of passengers through strict security, adherence to traffic laws, and proper maintenance of their PUVs. LTFRB Chair Teofilo Guadis III called on PUV operators, especially bus companies, to go the extra mile to provide a seamless and pleasant journey to their customers. Guadis reminded that violating LTFRB regulations and other relevant laws may result in heavy fines and penalties such as suspension of their franchises. And in the news outside the country, forest fires in 2023 resulted in deaths and injuries to hundreds of people, causing extensive damage, loss of forest areas, and carbon emissions. Anadolu's Disasters of 2023, a special series covers the biggest forest fires of the year. Forest fires, particularly in Canada, the U.S. and Greece, have led to serious destructions, hundreds of casualties, and the evacuation of thousands of residents worldwide. EU's Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Service (CAMS) said that forest fires in Canada, which started in May and lasted for months, led to about 480 megatons of carbon emissions. Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Service noted a significant increase in emissions caused by the fires in Greece and Eastern Mediterranean. In another story, for the third time, the vote on a UN Security Council resolution calling for the suspension of hostilities in Gaza to deliver aid was postponed on Wednesday. And Thursday, 15 members of the Council are expected to vote on the resolution, which was first postponed on Monday. The text, drafted by the United Arab Emirates (UAE), calls for the urgent suspension of hostilities to allow safe and unhindered humanitarian access and for urgent steps towards a sustainable cessation of hostilities. Reaffirming that all parties must adhere to their obligations under international law, it also requests that the UN monitoring mechanism be deployed expeditiously. And finally, in the news outside the country, the Bulgarian agency News acquired 30 electric vehicles (EVs) to support the work of its reporters and correspondents in Sofia and across the country. Bishop Polycarp of Biluthajic blessed 30 new EVs and the agency's workers, wishing that every journey end in peace. 3 charging stations for the electric vehicles have also been set up in the Bulgarian news agency courtyard. And that's all for the 12 o'clock news break, December 22, 2023. We'll be right back next week for more news updates. And thanks to our 12 o'clock news break writer Joy Duque, and on the technical side, Chad Bobbies. And to our Provincial Information Officer, Attorney Mary Luduca Castillo. And under the supervision of our Governor, Attorney Edsel Rex Legman, I am Greg HALLARE. Thank you for subscribing.